So I'm going to go ahead and start prepping this for rigging. So again, the first thing I want to do is just kind of get my node view a little bit more in order. So I'm going to use this to sort everything out and start seeing what I have here. I'm going to go ahead and separate my eyes just off to this side over here. I'm going to get my leg over here. This seems to be most of the body parts, and I'll put this over here with that. And I'll probably break these up into a couple of composite nodes. So go to my favorites, composite is under here. Let's just drag a few of these out here. So I get one for the leg. Plug that in. I'm going to do one for the eye, and I'll do one for the rest of the body. And I'm really just trying to clean up some of the spaghetti that's on my screen here. There we go. And so that seems to have mostly worked out, but what it really lets me do is just kind of come over here and have a little bit of a cleaner understanding of what I'm working with. So I have my upper leg, my calf, and my foot. I'm going to create pegs for each of these. Control P to create the peg, and I am now going to be able to adjust my pivot points on each of these. So with my upper leg, I want my pivot point to be at this center point here. There we go. For my calf, I want it to be at that center pivot point here. Let me test that out just to see if that is at the right spot. It feels like it is, but it's pretty close. Right? And then for my foot, I want it to be right there in that center dot. There we go. And so again, part of the point of this is when I rotate this down, you see how it never quite breaks the silhouette. I never get like a jagged edge that pokes out. It should roll around it pretty smoothly. Now, with that done, I don't actually have to keep those little dots anymore. As I was showing earlier, what I could consider doing is going out here and hitting F5, right, extend that one more frame. And then on each of these, I could duplicate that drawing. And now I can, on this duplicate drawing, go in here and on my upper leg, I can delete this part. And on my calf, I can delete, probably got both of these, doesn't it? And on my foot, does it have those others? I can delete that. Do I have this one on my foot too? I must have missed this one on the calf. Oh, no, I missed this on the upper leg is what I missed it on. There we go. And so now I don't have those pieces. And on the upper leg, I can push that line art down, go to my color art, and fill this with the stem color. Right. Can do the same with each of these parts as I go along. And then on the foot, so I got to be on this layer, push that down, fill it. And so now I did this on a second drawing, but you'll realize in the first drawing it's still the old version of that. And what I would end up doing is just deleting all of these drawings. And then on the first drawing here, I can choose in my library which of these drawings I want to expose. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can maximize this here. Right now it's set to no drawing because there's nothing there. And if I move forward to the first drawing, I can get the one with the reference dot, or I can move further along and I can get the foot that looks like this. Even more interestingly is I could do an additional drawing. I'm going to duplicate that drawing. So now I'm on drawing number 3 and it looks just like drawing number 2. And what I realized is I drew this perfectly from the side. And I could, if I wanted to, and I do, I'm going to go and select this color on the inside and delete it. All right, so I'm just back to the line work. And I'm going to make this a little bit more 3D. Let's go to Drawing, Optimize, and Optimize. I was hoping it would delete a couple of these. Let's see, maybe that's about as optimized as it's going to get. I can hold down Alt and delete individual controls, or I thought I could. Oh, it just deleted the tangents. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, one at a time, I'm going to kind of go in here. I can actually just hit delete to delete them as well. I'm going to make this foot just a little bit more 3D, right? try to get me a front-facing angle on that foot, a little bit more like this, and go that up a little bit more. I realize I'm doing this on the color line, not the, there we go. So I need to go ahead and delete the color stroke, I think. There we go, just delete that. So I'm back on the line art side of it. And in the line art section, I'm going to do just a little bit of this like indicator line here, using the stem line. It's a little bit more like that. That's a little too big, I think. Tool properties, I'm going to move that down to like 4. So I'm just getting me a little bit of an indicator line here, right? Something like that. Push that around just a little bit more to imply top of the foot, this sort of the side stroke. Honestly, I'm not sure if I need this front one here. I don't like the, again, I'm on the other monitor where I can move this over and draw it with my pencil, but I want this to have a little bit of taper, and I just drew this with my mouse. I could use the pencil editor to give this a taper on one side if I wanted to. Actually, I could do it on both sides, but if I did it on both sides, it would just make the entire line thinner, right? So if I hold down Shift here, it's going to pull that in, but if I did it on this side, it just makes the whole thing thinner. If I hold down, zoom in here, if I hold down Control right here in the middle, it will add an additional one, and then I can hold Shift and make it a little wider in the center and just sort of adjust this taper how I want it now, right? So that's a little bit better. I'm going to do the same thing here. Hold down Control, add a center line, taper this just a little bit. Right? I'm just trying to control a little bit what this stroke looks like. I'm going to select this part of the drawing, push that down, and we're going to color that as well. And I did that backwards. Let's try that again. Select that down to the color line. I'm going to fill it with stem color. And so just to show you the reason I did that is now while my character is walking, go ahead and go to drawing number 2 here, so we have that. And then for the up leg, drawing number 2. But while my character is walking, I may want their foot to be pointed perfectly forward or to the side. And I have now an option that I can alternate between those.